I know I've told you this before, but unless we can get to the comfy suburban Democrats, we're gonna lose. Older Democrats of all colors are determined to steer us into the ditch. And because of these older Democratic-leaning voters, we're gonna be stuck with the choice between two rapists. And we're gonna be stuck between two candidates who don't truly give a shit about the American workers. Here's just one of many examples of the kinds of conversations I've been having with these comfy Dems. Hi, Alan. Please like the New League of Women Voters Erie County Chapter Facebook page. Thanks. That's back in October. It's just to give you an idea of the sort of comfy Dem we're dealing with. But then in January, I started to get this comfy Dem's attention. Why would you share something like this? If I remember correctly, this was a picture that had Joe Biden's face in it that said, "Rich assholes for Biden." Then I showed this person a video from the Bernie or Bust television channel that documents that Biden supporters are primarily affluent and primarily out of touch with the needs of regular working class Americans. This voter was not persuaded. Didn't help. So I provided additional information, a Truthdig article. I guess the primary questions are you comfortable? Are you white? Do you actually want change that will benefit those less fortunate? If so, voting for Biden is insupportable. So then comes back the fallacious response, I just happen to have a different point of view. I don't see things the same way you do, and I am informed. I appreciate your support for your candidate. And by informed, this voter is saying, I have been watching mainstream media. So I came back with another YouTube video that showed how a vote for Biden can only come from a place of privilege and selfishness. So it isn't good enough merely to state that you have a different opinion if you can't back it up. When the Tara Reade story broke a few days ago, this comfy Dem was up in arms. The Time's Up Legal Defense Fund, which is administered by the National Women's Law Center, has countered that it did offer some help to Reade, Tara Reade, that is, the Biden staffer who was raped. So why did this comfy Dem come at me again? It's because Tara Reade wasn't being covered until Twitter started to force the issue. And then it was covered, and then I shared that coverage, and then this comfy Dem came unglued. So then the comfy Dem came back and said that the reason Time's Up, part of the Women's Law Center, did not take Tara Reade's side is because they didn't want to imperil their 501c3 status. So this comfy Dem is just repeating false information that has been debunked. Also carefully omitting that the Women's Law Center is connected to the Biden campaign. And Ryan Grimm documented all of that carefully. So here's what the comfy Dem comes back with. Interesting that many Bernie supporters focus on the attack of the most serious opponent at the time rather than promoting their own candidate. Warren received a real trashing as well. And I might add, a very well-deserved trashing. The woman making the charges in the story in question has made serious charges that should be investigated, but personal motives also require a deep look. When someone has been in the public eye as long as Biden, trending behaviors such as those charged would be discovered before Bernie was a candidate. Looking for the worst in people, not an admirable trait and hardly helps this country. Actually, I have always liked Bernie, but in truth, he himself has never been truly vetted, and negative rhetoric is a real turnoff. This is a woman, I have to say, this is a woman writing back to me and saying that Tara Reade's story should not be taken seriously because of the timing of it. The fact is, she's been trying to get this story out for a long time, but the timing wouldn't allow it. And now, finally, with the heat rising, people are looking at it. I have to say, the beginning of this discussion was rich assholes for Biden, and this woman is a rich asshole for Biden. She's white, she's old, she's a comfy Dem, she has privilege, and this is just pure assholery. This statement by her is just fucking wrong. But I didn't say it that way. I said, be careful, your agenda is showing. Comfortable Dems need to come to grips with the desperation that 40 years of neoliberalism has caused to the working class. We can't afford anymore. Our planet also can't afford it. Her response is, my agenda is a strong, united, respected America and not a party, Democrat, Republican, socialist, or otherwise. If you want a strong, united, respected America, I advise you not to vote for rapists. So I came back with all of the credible information showing that Biden is very likely to be a rapist. So then Comfy Dem comes back with, horrible. I feel sorry for you if someday a woman calls you a rapist and takes it to the press. And then I said, if it's true, I'll deserve whatever happens to me. And if it's true, the American public deserves a better leader than I would be. That response of mine came at 5:44 this morning, so I'm not sure what'll happen after that, but I'll keep you apprised, dear listeners and viewers. Yesterday we were discussing a new poll by ABC News/Washington Post in which Biden not only is showing a real strong lack of enthusiasm from his base, but the poll also reveals that 15% of Bernie Sanders supporters will vote directly for Donald Trump in a general election if Sanders is denied the nomination. Now, I've been saying this for months, even though I didn't realize it was a full 15%. That's game over, folks. That means Biden can't possibly defeat Donald Trump. But I was talking about this months ago, and I had enough data months ago to show that it was game over clear back in July of 2019. So when a mainstream corporate legacy news outlet gets a hold of something, then the boomers start to pay attention. USA Today, poll, 15% of Sanders supporters will vote for Trump if Biden is nominee. It doesn't say it this way, but that also shows that 5% are Bernie or bust. A 20% swath won't vote for Biden, and 15% of those are going to vote directly for Trump. So that doubles their leverage. There are 3 times as many Bernie or Trumpers as there are Bernie or busters, and their votes essentially count double. On Twitter yesterday, 15% of Bernie was trending for a good part of the day, and that finally started to cause people to lose their shit. We need to just make it clear to all the people that are losing their shit on Twitter that this is real, it's been real for months, and now you have to deal with it. And how do you deal with it? You stop voting for Biden in the primaries. It's like pulling teeth to get this word out and to get people to accept it. But Twitter and Facebook are possibilities, at least in this war. If we can get these topics to trend on Twitter and Facebook, and then less so on Reddit and Instagram and other outlets where boomers aren't as likely to hang out, then we can turn this around. So on Twitter, all you have to do is type in the 15% of Bernie or whatever else is causing people to lose their shit and retweet the fuck out of it. You almost have to start with something that comes from the corporate news to get it to trend, though. I've covered this before, but Twitter actively suppresses some hashtags and they suspend accounts that are spreading information that they don't like. But if there's going to be any hope of getting out and around this embargo on information, we have to do it. And Twitter and Facebook are our primary means of doing this. In the next clip, I'll show you how to scare the comfy Dems using Facebook.
Get on board the Bernie or bust train. Come get on board the Bernie or bust train. Once you hear that clickety-clack, there ain't no time for turning back. Go get on board the Bernie or bust train.
The preceding episode can be viewed on the YouTube channel Bernie or Bust Television.